Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean theorem. This is an awesome theorem. It allows us to solve for missing sides of a right triangle. So what's the Pythagorean theorem? This is it basically. It says a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a, b, and c are sides of a right triangle. That's important. It has to be a right triangle. Remember, right triangle is a triangle who has one of their angles as 90 degrees, right? Corner, square corner, right? Right triangle. And the key is the C that we're talking about here always has to be across from the right angle. It's called the hypotenuse. And we'll get into that a little bit later. When we talk about some trig stuff, we'll use that word a lot. But for now, hypotenuse, side across from the right angle, C. Right? A and B, they can be switched up. They're the other two sides, but C is really important. Right? When you set this equation up, on the right side of the equal sign has to go the side that is across from the right angle. And then again, basically, we love formulas like this. This is kind of a formula, and so all we have to do is plug stuff in and solve for the missing piece. Easy, easy cheesy. So here we go. I have a triangle here. I want to try it. I want to solve for the missing side. In this case, I want to identify the sides first so I know what to plug in where, and then after that, I just solve. The key is, again, find C. That one's important. A and B can kind of be swapped. Those two don't matter much. But C does matter. So let's find C first. Here's my right angle, and across from that is the side I'm missing or looking for, in fact. So that one's C. And then A and B, one of those is A, one of those is B. It doesn't matter too much. You can just label either of them, but C matters, right? Okay, so I'm going to label those other two. I'm going to plug them in, and let's solve this baby. So I've got 3 for A, so that's 3 squared, plus B is now 4 squared equals, and C, that's the thing I'm looking for. I could leave it C or call it X or whatever, but you're looking for that guy, so it just needs to be a variable. And then let's just solve it. Let's do whatever work we need to do and try to get X by itself. So right now I have some stuff to do here. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. I'm looking for X, so I've got my X squared still there. Add these guys together, 9 and 16, that's 25. So right now, this gives me 25 equals X squared. You got a couple of options here. Maybe you might just be able to figure it out. You might know what squared is 25, so you can figure it out that way. But sometimes this is not a nice number, and so using the calculator and just kind of going through the motions there, the routine is nice. So here's how you would use the algebra to solve it. Remember, we're trying to get X by itself, and to get X by itself, you always do the opposite. So right now I'm squaring X, so the opposite of squaring is to square root. So I would square root, and because they're opposites, squares and square roots cancel out, and just leave X. And then whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other. So I'll do the square root over here, and then square root of 25. Again, you might know that. Hopefully you know that, but if not, you can just punch that in on a calculator. Sometimes when we're doing these problems, these come out to be nice numbers, and sometimes you need the calculator because they don't, right? Taking the square root of numbers, there's only a few numbers you can take the square root of really nicely compared to how many numbers there are. And so, but in this case, square root of 25, punch it out, or maybe you know it in your head, and that's just going to be 5. So I've solved for X equals 5, right? Today what I did is I made sure that the problems that I gave you, you were always looking for C. So these will be done the same way each time. You're going to square the other two sides, add them, take the square root, right? That's really all it is, right? I'm going to square those, I'm going to add them, I'm going to take the square root, other guy drops out, right? Easy cheesy. Tomorrow, in our next lesson, we're going to look at what if I need to solve for A or B. And that's a little bit different. We're still going to use the same formula, but the algebra is just slightly different. But today, all the same, right? Square the two sides, add them, take the square root. Should be super easy. Try the problems on your assignment, and then let me know if you have any questions.